Good morning. It is day 53 of the Mississippi River Trail, where I, as a single mom, am paddling the Mississippi River from Minnesota all the way down to Louisiana with 7 of my 15 kids.
We're a family of 15 kids. One mom and Smokey Bear.
And the 7 youngest of us are paddling the whole Mississippi River.
This is chaos made fun.
Come follow our adventure.
And look at this beautiful day. It is beautiful, and we have tailwind. So tailwind is good. Yesterday was probably one of the best days we've had. We left Clinton on such a lovely note with all the people and relationships we built, and we ended up in Cordova and were welcomed by another couple that has just completely opened up their home to us, in which we had beds, and it rained last night and the cold front blew in. So while it rained outside, we were tucked warmly in a bed. And the little kids actually went to bed at 7, which they desperately needed. They were running on fumes, but it's hard to fall asleep in a tent when there's so much activity going on in the more populated areas. So they went to bed early and are slept up and recouped. But this is the lovely, lovely place whose doors were opened up to us. And we actually, if you missed yesterday's episode, you gotta catch that, because the kids' dream absolutely came true. And Keith and Lynn brought out their pontoon boat and boated out 5 miles to come surprise the kids, in which they finally got to ride on a boat, and the canoes were towed behind the boat. That was way fun. So all of their joking of asking every boat to give us a tow actually came true, and they said yes, which shocked them. So we are here this morning packing up. We're always a little slow to get out of places where people have supported, loved, and encouraged us. We've been fed a huge breakfast, and they have just been so hospitable. Like the love and encouragement and their story. They have a legacy and a heritage on the Mississippi and growing up on it, which is really cool. So here is the lovely Mississippi this morning, and it is beautiful. It's cooled off, but not so cold that we can't wear shorts, just some hoodies and we're good. And beautiful skies, beautiful water, and beautiful headwind. So the kids swam all night. We got in early enough due to our hitchhiking that they swam in the pool last night, which is now covered and all the water on it because it rained last night. And there was a hot tub up there, and look, here is Louie and I loved and loved and loved. There's Louie. Oh, Louie boy. We got some dog therapy because I miss Baxter so bad. But today we are headed into the Quad Cities. Finally, it's been a long time in coming. We've heard about Quad Cities, and it's about like Dubuque. We knew when we got this far south that we're making progress. So Quad Cities include Muscatine, Davenport, and 2 other cities I really can't remember the names. But Davenport's a huge one. Lock 15 is a museum and of the river and the lock system and everything, and it's the largest spanning dam across the Mississippi, and it's a museum. So our goal is to paddle into that today and hit the museum in the morning before we paddle out tomorrow. So we've got places lined up to camp, and we should be good. We checked it, double checked legalities. It was nice to not be woken up for the past 2 nights by cops, but we should be good to go. Not trusting the locals anymore. Thanks to the locals. We love you a lot. We love you so much, but cops tend to think a little differently than the locals. So we have legal places to camp, and all should be good. So we're getting packed up and ready to head out. We should be on the water here pretty quick.
The good news is, 1, we got a tailwind today. And 2, the better news is there was a really good scenic thing I just found out that's just right up there that we should paddle up to and go visit.
Yeah, no. That would be a river. That ain't happening. But there's Louie. Louie just doing Louie's thing this morning. Yeah, we ain't piling up river. I love him, but not that much. So anyway, we're getting ready to head out, and we should be good to go. Their house is lovely, and I've told the kids it is always very, very difficult to leave places like this because they have so much fun, and nobody really wants to go work their butt off and paddle when you're in a place this fun. But we are working, and one day I will tell our whole story, why I have 15 kids. A lot of people already know it, but a lot of people that are new to the story are not familiar with it. But we are out here working our butts off, bettering our lives, and making a change for the positive after years of being in a not so great place. So as we work and improve our life and make progress, we are very diligently working towards change and working to finally create some normalcy and some stabilization in our lives. So it looks a lot like doing what we do. And it encourages the kids to be places like this, to see people, meet people who love on us and live more normal lifestyles, and to know that we're working our way that direction very diligently and changing our lives as we go. So it's very encouraging. And the Keith and Lynn have talked very openly about their life and how grateful they are to be where they are and to be able to accommodate and house and open up their doors for just to be hospitable, for them to love on people and help and encourage. So we're here now. We're fixing to say goodbye and we're fixing to get on the water. So it's going to be a good day. Let's go paddle. All right, guys, meet Keith and Lynn, our amazing hosts that we paddled into. Actually, no, we did not paddle. We got a ride on their boat. So these are the heroes that actually made everybody's dream come true. So, oh yeah. So, all right, tell us a little bit about y'all's history on the river and just kind of what you're doing here.
We built this home a year ago. It took us 2 years to build it. We wanted to be on the river just because of a little family history on both sides. Keith's parents had a place up north that overlooked the river. And then I grew up in St. Louis. My grandfather worked for Struckless Steamers, which was the riverboats that ran up and down the Mississippi. And my ex was the channel inspector for the Corps of Engineers for many years. So we were excited to be back on the river, and we just really enjoy watching the river and all the activity and wildlife that it presents.
And then do you have a history on the river, or are you just going where she goes?
No, other than when my parents retired from farming, they bought a smaller acreage north of Clinton, Iowa, and it was way up on a hill and you could see the river. And my dad said, well, I guess I can just sit on the front porch and look at the river. So that it just
it's a peaceful place.
It is very peaceful.
Yeah.
We worked here for 2 years building this house, and I never really took the time to appreciate the river. But once we moved in, it was daily you stare at. There's always something to see.
Mm-hmm. And they actually have 60 acres from where you moved from?
Yes.
So yeah, they have land with a pond and everything, and they actually chose to come to make a return to the river. And even Lynn said, I think even every day it just changes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so.
There's an old adage that every day you look at it, there's something different, and that's really true. Whether that's the river level or the flow of the river or the wildlife or the different boats that come up and down. Some are barges, but Viking River Cruise now does the really fancy cruises.
That's cool. Did you see the 100-foot barge that came through? Was it us talking about it? Or did y'all see it?
Yes.
We didn't get to see it, but we have heard so many stories about that. The 100, it was like some not
the
barge.
yacht.
The yacht, yeah, whatever, it's a barge.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the 100-foot yacht.
Yeah.
Was it as impressive as everybody says?
It is. It just, yeah.
We won't catch up to it, but I really wanted to see it. So, all right, well, Lynn, and then you were a nurse for most of your life, right?
Yes, I did nursing and was an executive in healthcare.
So, very cool. She's got a great history, and it's just cool to see people that have lived their best life, and here they are just opening up their homes and their hearts to us. And anybody that welcomes 7 kids in is pretty epic. Not many people will, so the people that do, I consider very brave souls. So thank you very much. So
great family.
Thank you.
We wish you the best on your journey.
Get alerts when we release new episodes. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
Having the tripod back means we can catch up while I paddle, and we can cover some needed topics. So, yesterday's episode, it was released about the conservation officer that booted us out of Bellevue and the Tim. To clarify, I do not wish her any ill will, and I think it's important for the internet and online following to not believe her. She is understandably just doing her job, and while it was irritating for us in the moment, it's completely understandable. There was indeed a no camping sign. There is no camping on public boat ramps and all of that, despite being conservation land. However, the locals of that little marina community absolutely invited us to, said they did not mind, showed us where private property was, what was conservation land, and that we were welcome to, and in fact brought us food and welcomed us in. So, on that note though, where she was, we set up at 4:30 in the afternoon. It was very obvious. We did not go under the radar, nothing. We were just hanging with the locals in our tents. So it was 4:30 in the afternoon. Very obvious. Where they were at 4:30, I'm really not sure. Or 5, or 6, or 7, or even 8 or 9. But at 1, they were definitely there. So, to clarify, she was young, probably a rookie at her job, and we have found that females typically evict us. We've only had it happen one other time, and that was at a state park when we accidentally camped in the picnic area rather than a group site area. So yeah, and then at that point we were told to leave the picnic area, and we just chose to leave the state park rather than getting 2 campsites rather than 1. We can consolidate into small spaces and are good at it, but some campgrounds require that we get 2, which is not cost effective for us at all or budget friendly. So the conservation officer, she was not a neighbor Karen. The people in Bellevue were absolutely accommodating and welcomed us. We had nothing but love and support and encouragement from the people and citizens in Bellevue. The conservation officer was different, but she was very young, and my thoughts are she feared for her job a little bit. I think many male officers, know that they can use discretion and practice discernment and make the call. I think female officers are very afraid, and in fact it kind of highlights the stereotypical roles in society and in a male-dominated profession of park rangers, public safety, those kind of things. So in an effort to not be questioned or have her job on the line, there was a zero tolerance policy. While the very next night, 2 male cops from the town, little tiny town of Carroll, Mount Carroll I think, showed up, and there again the citizens welcomed us, told us the gates never shut, that the city would have no problems with it. However, the cops did show up, and they did use discretion, and they allowed us to stay, and in fact left the bathroom open for us. So that is the vast difference that we have noticed that's kind of intriguing and interesting when our adventures. Females typically have no mercy, no grace, and males extend all the kindness and use discretion. But as a whole, I think bullying and wishing ill will online and on the internet is just as bad as any bully in school. It's how adults have used their power to be keyboard warriors and fight the wrongs of the world by being mean to other people. I don't agree with it. I don't advocate for that, and I don't want our page to become that. So, in an effort to allow her some grace and some understanding, she was young, she was doing her job, it was understandable. Could she have allowed us to stay? Absolutely. But she chose not to, and ultimately that was her decision. And as a person that is in authority, we respected that, we're kind about it, and we vacated the premises. So let it be known that she's not a Karen, she's young. Y'all should definitely extend some grace for the situation and realize that maybe she learned from it as well. We learned not to go based on the locals' word, and I hope that she learned that discretion can be used in certain situations, and maybe she does it differently for the next family that comes through, or even a through paddler. It doesn't even have to be a family, but a through paddler in general. We're different. We're not little homeless encampments, and we are not going to trash or wreck the place. The majority, well, all of the through paddlers we have met have been nothing but kind, courteous, and they pack it in, they pack it out, and do it rather quickly. We typically arrive later in the day, and we pack out early-ish in the morning. The kids and I are later. We typically are gone like by 9. But most through paddlers are out by 6. So they're early risers, which we're not. But I don't even know the girl's name. And that I hope that if she sees this, that she knows the internet is not out to sabotage her, nor do I even begin to hope she loses her job. And I would speak on her behalf in order to allow her to keep her job as she learns when to use discretion and when not to. But otherwise, she was a very lovely person, and she was kind about it. She just stuck to the rules. And we know rules are rules, and they're there to be followed. So when we were clearly in the wrong to camp there, despite locals saying we could, then we respect that and we move on. So, message where that's concerned, be kind. always use kind, even on the internet. I have some very, very mean things said, even now, in news articles, comments, things like, not articles, but the comments that get left after the coverage. People are cruel, and I would never wish that on anyone else. I learned how to manage it and take it really well. It used to just cut deeply and ruin and sabotage my entire outlook. I've become wiser, older, gotten used to it, and it's not that bad. But I would never wish that on someone else. So, on that note, extend some grace to her. And if you are the conservation officer that did stick to the rules, we respect that and wish you no ill will. So, go have a pleasant, lovely day. And just spread kindness and love. Be kind to people, love on them. You don't know their story. What it looks, but mighty Mississippi is being kind to us. We are moving. We got large waves taking us south rather quickly, and a tailwind that is helping the cause out even more.
What do you mean? It's headwind for me.
Oh no, it is headwind. I'll look at your backwards. But we are moving right along. Waves are minimally large. They're not large, but they definitely got some wave action going today, but they are moving us south at a rapid rate. So we are grateful for the waves.
I'm paddling backwards.
Oh yeah. I don't know, we got it going backwards.
Okay, so I got my sail out. It's pulling really hard. And look at that. Look at all those waves going the right direction. And then, as you can see back there, we've got some waves going the right direction. Let me switch hands real quick. Making my arm tired. You.
Yeah, no paddling, we're just moving. Look how fast we're moving with zero paddling.
Okay.
What just happened?
Really, I'm not sure, but this morning we seen two commercial barges. The first one, we moved off to the side, went by, no problem. Commercial barge is nice. We viewed another commercial barge coming, so we moved over to the shoreline to get out of the channel to get away. And then around the outside of the commercial barge come a pleasure boater at high speed. I'm watching, he's coming at us, and I mean, now he's coming at us. I put my paddle up in the air, my arms like this, I'm waving back and forth. The guy's now within 100 foot of us going high speed. He looked at me and waved at me. Now he's seen me, and he went right between me and Nikki and the other boats. He was 10 foot away from Nikki at high speed. At the last, too late, he shut the motor back down and stopped, but by the time he stopped, he was behind the canoes. I don't know, but this does go to say what I've said so many times. The commercial barges, if you pay attention and watch, they're no problem. It's these people. I don't know whether he was curious, whether he was stupid, drunk, or sleeping. I don't know, but that was a really, really close one. That's the closest encounter we've had since we started. And when I say he was 20 foot from my boat, he was 10 foot from...
I could touch his boat with my arm.
Yeah, it was
full speed.
And then, I don't know what got into him, but afterwards we went by and he sat there for 10 or 15 minutes. And then it looked like he was coming back, but he went the other way. So
he laughed.
He was laughing about it, huh?
Yeah, he laughed.
Yeah, well, I hate to even say this, but I ain't done this in years, but I hollered at that guy throwing my arm afterwards until he looked right at me, and I give him one of these big ones right plain up, and I ain't done that to anybody in years.
That was not a pleasant experience.
No, that was my heart was beating. He was closer to you than, my heart was beating because he
threaded through us, which means he knew we were there. He threaded his boat between you and I, and A was behind me, he was off to the right a little bit.
Yeah, he went, it was like he thought he was supposed to just go zoom between the canoes. The other thing is we were 1/10 of a mile out of the channel. We were way out of the channel because there was a barge coming. We were 50 foot off, 100 foot offshore. We were way over by shore, and he was in a spot he really wasn't supposed to be to begin with. He's supposed to be running in the channel like that.
Look, from right here to right where Mom is, that's how far away he was.
Yes, that is very, very good example of how close he was at high speed.
I could have jumped on his boat.
He didn't even brake. He did not slow down.
Yeah, it was.
He didn't.
after he's done turning to us, he started, or after he does turn to you, he started turning to us.
I know. I watched it.
That's called being a retarded idiot.
To expand on that story, we saw him, we were aware of the barge, we moved hard right and were staggered. We saw the speedboat, made everyone aware of the speedboat, and we were staggered. Speedboat had plenty of room in the water to go between the barge and us and stay in the channel, or to the left of the channel. There's room over there. The river is very wide right where we are. Smokey waved, as he said, and the dude waved back. And thinking he would slow down or move, he certainly did not. And he continued full speed in between Smokey and I, to the point that it was arm's reach of our boat. I was so convinced he was going to hit our boat that we were vacating our spot on the water very rapidly, but I did not think that we were going to make it. And when I realized that he did not hit us, I wasn't thinking about the wake either, but we're right there back there with his rudders. And so once he flew past us, I have no idea how to gauge how fast he was going. He did not slow down and was in fact in acceleration mode. And so the wake, and once the immediate wake hit our boats, the girls and I, my boat went completely sideways. We took Opie out of her chair for safety measures, so she now sits low in the boat. Had she been in the chair that she's been in up in the north where it was smaller water, she would have absolutely been thrown out. But she stayed in the boat. Our boat took on water, but it also was the wake water. So I'm not sure what it took on versus what was wake water, but I know that we were sideways in the water and we sat back down. I turned around, made sure there was me, Smokey, and A, who was moving right at the time. He was okay, but when he went past us, he smiled. So these are the drawbacks of probably social media and YouTubing. I am unsure if he just thought he only saw one boat or if he just wanted to be on YouTube. I did not have my camera running at the time. I wish I had, but I did not. And maybe they're attention seekers wanting to make it. I'm not sure. But Smokey did in fact yell because it scared all of us so bad. Made sure A did not tip, and then we located B and C's boat, which was all the way to the right. And everyone was okay. So the recreational boats are by far the issues, not the barges and the people behind them. Maybe he was distracted by his phone. Maybe he did it on purpose for attention. I'm not sure. I yelled why over and over. I don't yell at people. I really don't. I'm just a mild person, but I yelled and I just kept asking why. And then I yelled at him a little bit and cussed. And I just kept saying why. And he laughed and said sorry. And laughed some more, sat in the water for a while, and then drove away and continued north. So I will never understand what just happened. I'm not sure why. I would love to know what went through his head. He was not entirely young. He was probably around 35 and dark hair with a white speedboat, but he was not so young that it was just youthful immaturity. He was probably around 35. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe people are opposed to our presence on the water. Maybe it had nothing to do with that. But that being said, like Smokey said, barges are not the issue. People in recreational boats can and are the issue when an issue does occur. We have arrived coming into the Quad Cities and Lock 14. And yeah, despite it looking like it's down there and so close, that is actually 2 miles away. That gives you an idea of what you can see on the river versus the actual distance. So Lock 14 is now in sight, 2 miles away.
Was this lock number 14? I have 4 canoes that would like to get through going south. Hi there, run it down, stand by. Thank you.
Why are we stopping?
Alright, we are officially at Lock 14, and they are prepping the lock.
Yo.
Probably filling it up from northbound watercraft. Not sure. Here we are. Lock 14. Talking about us, so stay together as a group because the one behind y'all was coming into the port. That's the Viking.
What is a Viking?
That's the Viking ship. All right, there we have it. The arch into the Quad Cities is behind us. We officially went through and watched the Viking cruise liner go through it. That was very cool. That was very nice. Kind of makes me want to go take a ride on the Viking, actually. But yeah, we had people waving at us. That was fun. So if you're on the Viking and you happen to be caught on camera, feel free to say hello in the comments because that would be fun to know who we were waving at. Oh, and here come the swells of the Viking. This is the most fun part, riding the waves. We got a super late start today. Didn't leave Keith and Lynn's house until 11. Then we had a news interview at, oh God, 2 o'clock.
Roger, man. I had to get it done as fast up here as I thought I was. I'm shooting over there. See on that too, that works? Sir, so what's over there? Okay, thank you.
All the ships are talking. So yeah, left there at 11. Super late start. It's always hard to leave a place you love and people that have come dear to your heart. Then had lunch, and the news crew was there to greet us when we paddled in after lock 14. So had a news interview there. Left late there because of the news interview at lunch. And now we are very late into the day, paddling to our intended campsite. So, with the way the day is going, we should make it before dark, but no one really knows. And yeah, there are not many campsites along here. I'm into lock 15, Davenport, Iowa, and I think Rock Island, maybe Illinois, maybe Rock Island, Iowa. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Rock Island is Illinois. Lock is actually different this time around. It's on the left side rather than the right. The sun is beginning to set and it's a beautiful day on the water. Lock 15 is actually a museum. We were planning on seeing that in the morning and really having some fun.
So 0?
Started at about 15. However, the government shutdown has also shut down the museum of Lock 15. So the visitor center is open, but the museum is not. We may try to find some other stuff to do, or we may just paddle out, not sure. Davenport is full. This whole entire Quad City area is full of educational opportunities. So we'll figure out what we're doing tonight. May hit the town tomorrow before we paddle out. Not real sure, but as of now, it is a beautiful day coming into Lock 15. Did you radio in yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think right now he says I've opened up the gate for one right now. It'll be about 10 minutes. I'll bet you it's wrapped.
Oh, I was stuck on channel 13, being mindful of barges and forgot to switch it, so I missed it. I have to say, Lock 15 is very beautiful. All right, Lily, get your paddle. We're fixing to go. You can let go now.
Here we go.
So Mom, we get our surprise?
Wait, what surprise?
You said I was
Oh, yes, actually we do. I forgot about it. Yep. All right. Boy, drop.
What?
There we go.
Let's go, Mom. Yeah, let's go. Go.
Move, dude. There you go. All right, left side.
through. Was it red kayak?
Yep.
We've arrived at camp, as you can see, just before dark. So we are getting the canoes in a creative way. They're down here, which is not far from camp, but camp is up there and we do not want to leave them unattended on the water. So we're using the van to haul 2 at a time, and y'all can actually see how we do this when we need to move the boats to camp. So this is, we don't have to strap them on and go through all that stuff. We just load them on the bottom and go.